Postcast. Part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, let's get this show on the road. I think the game is over. Top of the ninth, 3 outs. That means the game's over, right? Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcast on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. I am Pete Fox, covering the Dodgers and LA sports dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Also, yeah, that's all. Oh, it's been a day. I went and got a massage this morning. We're going to talk a lot about things that have no relation to this game because there's just, we'll get into some of this game, but I kind of feel like it was a turn the page, non-issue sort of game, and everything's fine. I'm not terribly worried at this point. I'll tell you why I have confidence still. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of other things, and we can spend a little bit more time with your comments tonight and whatnot. By the way, let me get to this. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by PrizePicks. Of course, they are America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to win $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. So I went to get a sports massage today, and you start out laying on your stomach, and you have that little horseshoe at the top of the table. Well, when I rolled over, my right eye, which is my good eye, has just been irritated and running and screaming at me all day. And usually a few Advil and a little hot compress will take care of it. And it is not. I have a bad left eye from 25 years ago where I tore my epithelium on the corner of a grocery paper sack. And basically when you do that, there's not a whole lot they can do. They say they can do surgery, like a laser surgery, but really ultimately they're like, yeah, you have a 50-50 shot of that being helpful, and it's super painful. So just keep it lubricated. So I went through a long period of time where the left irritated eye would wake me up in the middle of the night if it got too dry, like in the winter when the heat is on. So I then went to, had an episode where I was in Chicago and we were at a Cubs game, and I got an infection in my eye for some freaking weird reason. And the infection was so bad, it kind of screwed up my eye, like just really damaged it severely. And I have a friend who's an ophthalmologist, and he said it was damaged so severely, it was almost like you had the laser eye surgery. So it's really good now. And this issue that's going on is with my right eye, not my left eye. I can't figure it out. I don't know if I scratched it on the little horseshoe thing, or if there was some sort of, I got an infection while I was there getting a massage. No idea what's going on. So I've been sitting on the couch all day with a compress on it, and it actually kind of feels halfway decent right now. So let's see if we can get through the next 24 minutes. We're going the minimum today because I don't feel like we need to harp on this game or linger on this game too long. Nando, first one in on the comments. Flaherty doing his best October Kershaw impersonation, followed by Dave Roberts is leaving Flaherty out there. He wanted to lose. I've had that text come in, Nando, that the Dodgers were in no big hurry to win this game because they wanted to head back to LA, win it in LA, sell out at least one game, if not two more, and make a few extra $1 million. I don't know. That seems ridiculous. They want to get to the World Series is what they want to do. Flaherty just didn't have it. Let's just be honest. Flaherty was not good today. And the Dodgers had an opportunity to give him a little bit of cushion. I don't know that it would have mattered, honestly, because he was, as we've talked about with Flaherty and Yamamoto and Walker Buehler over their last outings, if the fastball is working and they have command of the fastball, it sets up the off-speed pitches. Today, Flaherty couldn't find the zone, all over the place, and he struggled. The off-speed stuff was out of the zone. The fastballs were not in the zone either. So he was just flailing. I mean, it was ugly from Jump Street. And then the Dodgers had second and third no outs to start the game, and they strand them. That's just, I mean, I don't want to say it's unforgivable, but that's a super huge missed opportunity. And then the pitch that Alonso hit, I don't think was a bad pitch. It was a really good pitch. I don't know how freaking Pete Alonso, who, by the way, has the weirdest run. He kind of runs like a chubby artist. He doesn't run like an athlete. His hands are kind of flailing out in front. His chest is too puffed out. When I played college ball, they used to call me Bok Bok because they said I ran like a chicken. So I'm familiar with the style of the hands up a little too high and the chest pressed out. That's what Alonso looks like. He's Bok Bok too. By the way, I never enjoyed that nickname. So much so that whenever I bump into former teammates, they go, Bok Bok. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Like, they don't like calling me Bok Bok because they know I never liked it. I think if somebody came up with that nickname now, I might be okay with it. And Nando and Craig and all you regulars, don't get any ideas to start calling me Bok Bok. Should never have told you that story. I also, for a minute when I was doing music radio, somebody called in and said, what's your name? And I said, Pete Fox. And they're like, they started laughing and they said, I thought your name was Pink Fox. And I was like, that's pretty funny. So I played that clip on the radio. And for a long time, people called me Pink Fox, which I thought was okay. You know, it was a rock radio station. I was like, I'm pink. It's hard. Anyway, yeah. That ball that Alonso hit was a foot off the ground. I don't know how he hit that ball out. That was an amazing home run for him. Unbelievable that he hit that ball. And it was 432 feet or something. It was an utter bomb. It wasn't like he just barely got it out. 107 miles an hour, 117. It was up there. It was a blast. I don't know how he hit that ball out of the park. It wasn't a bad pitch, but that was the beginning of the end for the Dodgers. Gave up 3 in the first, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Jesse Winker is now somebody that I don't like. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because that they said that he's booed quite frequently in visiting stadiums. People don't like Jesse Winker. And he loves the fact that people don't like him. I guess he made a comment about Milwaukee, hated Milwaukee. And Jesse Winker is just a guy like Castellanos of the Phillies that it's easy to hate. And I kind of don't like him now. He's another one with a weird sort of run. And then they described his attitude as he plays baseball like a linebacker. That also kind of ticked me off. I don't know why. Like they just perpetrated my mind with their perception of Jesse Winker. And the fact that he had another, I shouldn't say another, but did have a big day today was kind of annoying as well. How many hits did the Mets finish with? 14. 2 for Lindor, 1 for Nimmo. Vientos went 0 for. Alonso, 2 hits and 3 RBI. Winker, 2 hits, 3 runs. And Marte with 4 hits, 3 doubles and 3 RBI. That dude had a day. He's a man. That guy is just yoked. That's a guy you can root for right there. Starling Marte. Taylor 0 for, McNeil 0 for, but had a couple of RBIs on sac flies. And Alvarez, the catcher, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 RBI. So the Mets really kept it going. Dodgers had their opportunities to make it interesting. Bases loaded in the 4th with 2 outs, full count to Freddie Freeman. That pitch that Garrett threw at that point, who had just come in out of the bullpen, wicked. Freddie was like walking down to first base, trying to sell the umpire, and that ball was right in the center of the dish. Freeman was like, yeah, I mean, it was wicked. I think it was a curveball. It might have been a slider that came from the front door. They keep calling that back door. I don't understand. I know a lot about baseball. I don't understand how that's the back door. If you're a left-handed hitter and the ball comes in front of you, how is that the back door? I have to look that up because I don't get it. That should be the front door. It's coming in front of me. The back door is like a screwball that comes in, or a slider to a left-handed hitter from a right-hander, a slider down and in. That could be the back door, not in front of me that turns right to left. That's a front door. I don't get it. Every time I hear that, I get upset, frustrated. Why is that the front door? I'm sorry, the back door should be the front door. This is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about today. Front door, back door, etc. But yeah, that was a nice pitch there from Garrett. Unfortunately, he got yanked. Unfortunately for him, not for us. He got yanked early after an inning. He gave up 3 runs on just 1 hit because Andy Pages went deep on him. I think he went deep on him twice. I'm not sure, but if he only gave up 1 hit, I guess that's not true. But he definitely hit 1 home run off him and got yanked. So Andy Pages had a night after I ridiculed him yesterday for only having 1 swing and only being able to hit balls to left field, which is exactly what he did today. He did get a hit on a cue ball shot off the end of the bat, almost a broken bat type of situation. The fact is that, if he gets that ball in the right place and can yank it to left field, he has a very good shot to hit a home run. And that's what he did. Interesting comment here from somebody who has the same name as a Padre pitcher. It could be the Padre pitcher. I'm not sure. His name is Yuki Matsui. Says the series is over. Dave Roberts can't manage. Okay. Well, I don't know, Yuki. Still got to win 2 games on the road. So I don't know how this puts the Mets in a favorable situation. To me, I look at it and go, the Mets are probably tired today. They need oxygen, running the bases and all those base hits and home runs, and yeah, they're just exhausted. They need a day off, which they get tomorrow. And then we get game 6 at the Ravine on Sunday. So no game tomorrow. They'll play on Sunday. Manaea will go for the Mets and a bullpen day for the Dodgers. One which we will more than likely not see Landon Knack in. After the break, I'll tell you the statistic, which is not a big secret, but I'll share the number with you of teams that are up 3-1 and what their percentage to win the series is. The Dodgers were up 3-1. They're now up 3-2. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. Make sure you check them out. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Hims. It is brought to you by Hims. Your sex life is important, but your schedule is busy. You don't have the time to go to a doctor's office to get treated for ED. Through Hims, you can get a personalized ED treatment without stepping foot outside of your home. Guys, ever feel like you need a little boost in the bedroom? It's time for you to stop worrying about your performance and get Hims so you can feel confident knowing you can get hard and stay hard whenever you are in the mood. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. Just answer a series of questions on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you in discreet packaging for free. No insurance is needed. There's just one low price, covers everything, including the treatment and ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start for free your online visit today at hims.com/locked-on. That's HIMS.com/locked-on for your personalized ED treatment options. Hims.com/locked-on. The products mentioned are chewable compound products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. So the Dodgers fall today. I don't know if I've mentioned the final score or not. 3 extra points were missed today. 12-6 the final. Mets missed 2 extra points and the Dodgers missed 1. They got to within 4. It was 10-6 at one point after the Andy Pajas home runs. But then Honeywell, who was just out there chewing up innings, a staff saver, which he did a fantastic job of today. They did not get to any high leverage arms in any sort of big way. Bonda came in for a third of an inning in the 8th. He threw 2 pitches, and that was that. Zeros across the board for him. So Brett Honeywell, 4 1/3, 4 runs on 6 hits, 67 pitches. I originally predicted 70 to 80 to my buddies when we were texting back and forth. Then I lowered it to 50 to 60. So I was wrong all around. I was close. I was definitely dancing around the number that they let Honeywell throw. He threw 67. Flaherty went 3, gave up 8 runs on 8 hits. And after the big first inning, it just kind of felt like, all right, let's let him go as long as we can. I mean, Dave Roberts even mentioned it on the broadcast that we're going to let him battle as long as we can, because he didn't say we feel like this one's over, but we don't want to eat up our arms because we know that we have a bullpen day coming on Sunday. So they let Flaherty go as long as he could. 75 pitches. Seems about right. Again, 8 runs on 8 hits, 4 walks, no Ks. So that tells you what kind of a day he had. But the number that came down yesterday that we should all feel pretty good about is when a team leads in a NLCS 3-1, they win that series 82% of the time. So I feel pretty good about where the Dodgers are still. I think we should feel confident. We've seen them effectively execute the bullpen day. And when you've got everyone ready to go on game 6, even with Sean Manaea on the mound, I feel like the Dodgers have a real shot. And one of my buddies brought up a very good point. I don't know if there's a stat for this, because we've just dealt with so many bizarre first ever record breaking stats in this series, but I don't know if there's a stat for this. The Dodgers laying an egg and not being able to win 1 of 3 with their offensive firepower for 3 games in a row seems highly unlikely. Now, I know when you get to a game 7, it's just 1 game and the mindset changes for both teams. So the Mets have been playing for a long time with let's just win 1 game and see what happens. Let's win 1 game and keep going. The Dodgers haven't really played with that sort of mindset, but the Dodgers to go out and lay an egg for 3 games in a row, to me, seems highly unlikely as well. This is my friend who's not a Dodger fan. He's like, look, the fact that they had a bad game today, it happens, right? And I said the same thing. Yeah, Flaherty just didn't have it. Wasn't in the cards. It wasn't like they didn't hit the ball, right? Teo didn't hit the ball. Teo is in a horrific slump. And it's not just while he's hitting the ball hard and getting bad breaks, he's hitting it right at people kind of a thing. No, he looks awful. He needs to sit down with Mookie for a minute and have a little heart-to-heart, a little pep talk from Mookie Betts, who has been battling through it a little bit. And prior to this series, obviously he's gotten it going in this series with 2 home runs, 7 RBI, and OPS over 1,000 today, 2 for 4, a home run. So he's definitely found it. How did he find it? Hard work, getting in the cage, 200 to 300 swings. Poppy thinks it's ridiculous. I do not. Poppy's like, you just need to get out there and have fun. Yeah, that's helpful. That's helpful advice. But to say getting in the cage and working out a slump is bad, it's a waste of time, you're driving yourself into the ground, I don't agree with. If he wants to do that, if that's Mookie's method, then let Mookie be Mookie. Poppy, you be Poppy. Poppy doesn't seem like a guy to me that spent a lot of time in the cage. Supernatural hitter. I'm just going to get up there, see the ball, hit the ball. That's kind of what Poppy did his whole career. That's not who Mookie is. Mookie wants to get in there and work through it. Well, guess what? Teoscar Hernandez needs to get in there and work through it. He needs a 200 or 300 swing day in the cage tomorrow because he looks awful. It is terrible Like, not even close to a ball. He worked a walk today somehow to get on base, but 2 Ks and swings and misses that aren't even close. Just a day and a half late. It is awful. So I really hope that he can work through it and find something, because we need him, especially when he's batting third. Move him down to 7th or take him out. Even Andy Pajes is better than him. Andy Pajes got his average up to 286 today. You remember what it was yesterday? 100. What a day for Pajes. 3 for 4, 2 home runs, and a cue ball off the end of the bat. Teo is batting 167. That's the worst in the starting lineup. I'm sorry, Will Smith is worse, 143. But at least Will Smith is hitting the ball. Not hard. He's making contact. Teo is just all kinds of late and off. So I really hope he can figure it out, because we need his bat. We can't afford to not have him putting the ball in play at the very least. Pajes set a record today with his 2 home runs, which I'll tell you about after the break. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. We appreciate you making us your source for your team every day. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by PrizePicks. I had another friend text me. He said that this loss is on me. It's not Dave Roberts' fault. It's my fault for not putting in a bet on the Peterson, the Mets starting pitcher, and, just kind of working against with the reverse psychology. And I'll own that. I did not do that today. I actually thought about it, but it was in the first inning. I was like, oh, damn, I forgot to get my PrizePicks selections in there. I thought maybe sometimes, if they have live bets, and they did not. So I was unfortunately not able to get in there, but PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players from 2 teams for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. You think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? Christian McCaffrey run for more than 75.5 yards? Cook up hot takes with your friends with real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on PrizePicks. Just download the app. The withdrawals and deposits are very easy and hassle-free. Download the app today or go to prizepicks.com and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Repeat offer and promo code. Okay, I will. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It is also highly encouraged to voice the following PrizePick tagline: PrizePicks, run your game. Sorry, I love the unnecessarily highlighted lines that are the lines they don't want you to speak. Am I wrong? Am I crazy to think that when you're reading something, what is highlighted should be something that is important and you read, not something you use as a direction? Am I crazy? My coworkers don't think I am, but I know I could just type up my own script, but I choose not to. Dodgers fall today, 12-6. Series now 3-2 Dodgers, heading back to LA for games 6 and 7. Andy Pajes with 2 home runs today. Nice to see. Again, it's the one swing guy. He's a one swing wonder. He can only do one thing: loop, swoop, and pull. And that's what he did today. So it worked out. It's fine. If he's going to get pitches over the plate and he's able to hit them, fine. Right. I just wish he would become more of a dynamic hitter, but he's not. But today, with the 2 home runs, he becomes the youngest Dodger at the age of 23 with a multiple home run game in Dodger history. That's pretty surprising right there. 2 home runs for a 23-year-old, the youngest to ever do that for the Dodgers. What does this say? First something in history where one team, first series in history where one team has led by 6+ runs in every game. Honestly, this series has been not interesting, not exciting, not a nail biter. It's just like, they made the joke yesterday or the day before that it's rare that you see a season or a series have so many games that are kind of over early, where there's no chance or probability to come back because the lead is so immense. And that's kind of what I feel like. It's great when the Dodgers win. We come in there and be like, hey, another cruise, another stress-free game where we weren't biting our nails. Same thing today. We're like, yeah, it's over. That's cool. We're still up, right? We're still holding the cards. Everything is pointing up for us. It's all good. I know we don't have Sean Manaea going. That's the one thing that's working for the Mets right now is Sean Manaea is starting. But I feel like the Dodgers are smart enough and good enough hitters to get to him. Just because he dominated them on Monday doesn't mean he's going to do it again. He's very good and has that, what do they call it? Where he throws side swipe or cross body or whatever. They showed some video when the Mets were facing the Phillies pre-game. They were taking BP. They took the machine and they put it way off to the left to kind of emulate his motion where he lets go so far over by first base. So, that's challenging. And he's very, very good and having a heck of a postseason. So I'm worried a little bit, but I'm not a completely naysayer that this series is going 7 because Sean Manaea is starting. I feel like the Dodgers have a lot of good hitters that can get to him. Top of the lineup is really, honestly, right now, there are 2 guys that aren't hot. Out of 9 regulars on the Dodgers starting lineup, it is Will Smith and Teoscar Hernandez that are not hot. Beyond that, everyone else is kind of got it going right now. Nobody's red hot except for Mookie. Shohei's good, 2 for 4 today, 1 walk, so on base 3 times, struck out twice, didn't look good in those strikeouts. Got blown away late in the game by Diaz, who was throwing it up there 99-100. Shohei was late there, just got absolutely beat. But Mookie's batting 300. Freddie's doing okay. 0 for today, but still 219 and putting the ball in play. Tommy Edmonds having a great series. Great postseason for that matter. 2 for 5 today, batting over 300. Kike's batting over 300. Max Muncy, his average isn't great, but he's getting on base. Let's not forget, he got on base 12 consecutive times. Today, 0 for, walked once. So a bit of an off day when it comes to getting on base for Max Muncy. Beyond that, Will Smith, 0 for, batting 143. Gavin Lux pinch hit today, popped up. Pages 3 for 4. Probably going to see him out there game 6. So really 2 guys in this lineup right now that don't have it rolling. So I am not all that worried about what's coming up. Of course, anything is possible. Maybe we'll get a close game. It is hard to say. I think we're probably rooting for a close game. I don't know. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the Dodgers went out and won it 9-1. So anything's possible. Sean Manaea coming into this game 6 with a 2.65 ERA in 17 innings pitched. 1 quality start. He's 2-0. He's given up 11 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs. This is, of course, for the entire postseason. 6 walks, struck out 17. He is not unbeatable, people. Let's not be too overinflated about how great Sean Manaea is. He's very good, and he is rolling right now. Got it locked in, but he is absolutely beatable. And I love our chances with the precise, predicted, forecasted plan of a bullpen day. The way it worked for the Dodgers in game 4 against the Padres, it can work like that again. The way it worked in game 2 was a little different. I do not believe that we will see Landon Knack as the second guy out on Sunday. Trust me, he's not going to be the second guy out. If the Dodgers get a comfortable lead, they might run him out there late again, but they have a rested, healthy bullpen ready to go. So don't worry, it's not going to be Landon Knack. I think, again, what they were hoping for in game 2 was Landon to burn off 3 or 4 innings to save some arms. Didn't work out. Dodgers lose that game. So Sunday will be a different deal. Today, 12-6 the final. Series is now 3-2 Dodgers, heading back to LA for games 6 and 7. That's going to do it for tonight's postcast. I'm Pete Fox. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate your comments. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will talk again on Sunday.